My name is Josellie Rios.
And I'm Godswill Ugwa.
And this is One Piece at a Time. We are your hosts, and this podcast will explore each episode of this beloved franchise from the perspective of a seasoned One Piece fan and a first-time watcher.
We're social media producers at Funimation, and we can't wait to dive into the One Piece anime. So join us on this adventure starting right now.
Yeah, so the last episode, the crew follows Nami to her hometown, and we learn all about Nami's past, and we meet Arlong's crew. We see that Nami is with Arlong, but for a reason. And she finally asks Luffy for help, and it's gonna go down.
Oh, my heart. Oh, my heart. I'm so happy that you're like, I'm so happy that you're watching these points too. Like, okay. We're gonna talk some more about that later on. Because that moment was just, we talked about that on the last episode, and
yeah,
I can't wait to see more moments like this. Mm-hmm. So for people who didn't see, what'd you think about that moment, by the way?
Oh, it was just heartbreaking. Mm-hmm. I mean, because Nami's been holding this for 8 years, this burden with her, and she finally reaches a point where she just can't deal anymore. And Luffy's been waiting for it. He's like, okay, you need my help. I'm going to help you because this is what friends are for. So it was a very touching moment.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy. I think there's a point that I think I was really invested in One Piece. I think this is where it started transforming for me versus being just another beat 'em up anime. It was okay, there's a deeper thing right here. So I'm excited to see how that's gonna go. So now we're about to go through podcast episode 6. We're gonna talk about anime episodes 39 through 47. There we go. So I am super excited. This is gonna be the end of this Arlong Park arc, and then even a few good episodes that are just outside of the norm. I would almost call them filler, but they're really good outside stories that just sort of add to the world of One Piece too. And just sort of, it gets you out of that funk of the sadness of what just happened into good times again, right?
Yeah.
So let's start it. So episode 39, Luffy submerged, Zoro versus Hachan, the octopus. That's what they call it, the octopus.
Yeah, so where we left off, Luffy just got thrown into the water.
Oh my goodness.
His feet are stuck to the floor.
Oh my goodness.
And Arlong just picked him up, floor and everything, and just threw him into the water.
I was like, that's the smartest idea. If he didn't have good friends, it would have been done. No more One Piece. Maybe Usopp just runs away.
He's gonna be the real captain
right,
now.
Exactly. Gotta remember Luffy as he was.
So Luffy is about to drown.
And also, that all bothered me too. I was like, yikes.
Right? What would you do in this situation?
I would have died. I'm sorry, but I can't imagine. I kept thinking about this situation where it's can I have done anything differently? No, I would have been dead. Well, I wouldn't have got my foot stuck in concrete in the first place.
Yeah.
But
because even if you're a good swimmer, you can't do anything if you're stuck.
Although I bet you could hold your breath long, right? You know how to swim really well, right?
I know how to swim.
Yeah, so I bet maybe I feel like you would have been better.
You think so?
Yes.
I'm not sure about that.
Man.
I mean,
at least you wouldn't have been Luffy status of oh, I'm stuck and I'm gonna do this. Anyways,
so
I would have died. I wouldn't have made it. There would be no episode 39 for Godswill. It's done, son. I think I've been afraid.
We need to teach you how to be a better swimmer.
Please, yes, that's gonna be my mission today.
It's gonna be my mission statement. I'm gonna teach you how to swim.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. I like this.
So time is of the essence, and Sanji and Zoro had said okay, let's just defeat these two guys, Samurai, Fishman, and Hachan the octopus. But the octopus is just wasting time.
Yes.
He's and Zoro's fainting. He can't deal. And
he's been hurt this whole time.
He's been hurt this whole time, and we realized that he was more hurt than we thought. He thought he could walk his fever off, and I'm like, that's not how fevers work.
Although then again, I try to do that too.
I knew you would say that for some reason. I do say that.
Don't be mad. But
no, fevers are serious.
Yes. So I hear.
So the octopus brings out his swords. Turns out he's a swordsman, I guess?
Yes. Six sword style. Mm-hmm.
Six sword style.
Oh man,
geez.
this is a cool moment right here.
And Zoro stands up and he's like, he still wants to fight. He's like, there's a certain man I have to face, and until I see him, death cannot touch me. Like,
I think you mentioned like a few podcast episodes ago, like where you noticed like he has to fight every swordsman, so he can't be that best.
Yes, so he puts on his bandana because that's when you know that he's about.
It's go time. Go time. I'm excited. I this is a hype moment right here, like where. You know, like, because I didn't remember this moment, like, super well, because you just see so many fights throughout it, but, like, this one was choreographed so well, I think, where he puts on a bandana, right, and he's sick, he's fading in and out, he's like, oh, boy, I'm about to go unconscious, I need to finish this super quick. So then what happens is, and, like, you know, you see Hatchon with his sixth style, like, he's flinging 6 swords at a time, and it looks like just a blizzard, a flurry of swords, like, it's horrible, and you're like, how is Zoro going to be able to do this, right? But Zoro does it in one swift moment where he dodges like some of the swords, blocks some of them, and then cuts him up at the same time. And I was like, this is so, this is beautiful. The dragon twister right here.
Yeah.
Oh, such a cool moment.
But still, he's so weak. And meanwhile, this whole time Usopp's been running away, like keeping Big Mouth occupied.
All right, what'd you think about that? Like Usopp running away.
Well, I mean, it's very Usopp thing to do. I mean, at least he's keeping one of the fishmen, you know,
preoccupied.
occupied and off of Sanji's and Zoro's back. So he's doing something. We gotta give Usopp some credit.
I agree. I personally agree. A lot of people are like, "Oh, he's a coward." I'm like, "What would you do if you saw this 8-foot, 7-foot fish man, you know, like who has muscles like nothing else and has some superpower? This one can shoot water out of his mouth really quickly like bullets. So what would you do, huh? I'm not standing around.
Right?
I'm sorry, boys, but I'm not like y'all. Luffy's probably dead. Zoro's probably going to die. And then Sanji, well, he might save us. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
So I think by the time we get to the end of this episode, Usopp's just still running, right? From this fishman.
This episode taught me I need to get my stamina up because you never know you're going to need to keep running like that.
Because if you can't fight, at least you need to be able to run away. So that's a good point, actually. Maybe I should hit the cardio too sometime.
This episode made me want to swim better. But I was like, I hope that like also translates to running better too. But we gonna see. And then also, just as Zoro beats Hatchan, he's like, okay, I also gotta. He's putting this whole thing on his back, where he's like, okay, I gotta beat everyone, and I gotta go save Luffy. But then luckily Sanji is being a team player, and he's about to jump into the water to actually get Luffy, because no one else really knows like what the other citizens of the town are doing to save Luffy, which is nice. I'm happy that they're stepping up. I was worried that it was going to be all on the Straw Hats to go do this.
So from the last episode, Johnny and Yosaku are blocking the entrance.
Like no citizens come through here.
Yeah, like guys, like let's just wait for these guys, and they got this. So we don't know what they're doing. Sanji jumps in, trying to help Luffy, and he sees Najiko has stretched Luffy's head out of the water so he can breathe. And meanwhile, Genzo is down there giving Luffy CPR. And he's been down there for a long time, just trying to give him CPR. Meanwhile, I'm holding my breath.
Me too. I'm
trying to see if it's possible for somebody to...
Because also, like, the further down you go, the harder it is to hold your breath too, right? Like, it's more pressure. And I'm just like, yikes. Like, how? Like, even if you live on an island, like, I mean, like, you lived on an island, right?
Yeah.
And, like, were you just diving down to the bottom of the sea and just be like, oh, I'm just going to see how far I can go?
I'm just going to check how long I can hold this.
Man. Oof. I couldn't. I'm like, CPR of all things. But unfortunately, because Sanji did that and he didn't know, he drew attention to the citizens trying to save Luffy. So that started a whole fight. Oh, God. Yeah. And this is the scariest fight for me personally, and the whole show. Like I was like,
yeah, and that's where the episode ends. I think. I mean, before that we do see Nami, and she's sort of patching herself up because she had her whole scene that was very intense.
Like, just cut off the skin. Don't put the knife into your shoulder. But,
yeah. And then she's like, that's enough crying. That's enough sitting around. She slaps her face a little bit. And she just, stands up and runs and tries to see, she can help. So that's the last we see of her on that episode. I do that sometimes. Yeah. Like, there'll be a time if I am just too frustrated, I need to just take a break and then, okay, enough sitting around, just slap the face a little bit and just stand up and do something.
There we go. I like that. Although I'm not going to do that after I cut myself. Stab a knife into my shoulder.
No.
Joint.
Just the crying.
Yeah, there you go. Right? I think that's fair. I was like, man, Nam, you're tough. Like, because I would have been like, yeah, sorry, I got to sit this one out. I did something stupid, y'all.
Episode 40. Proud Warriors, Sanji and Usopp's fierce battles.
Yeah.
So Usopp's getting a battle of his own.
I love Usopp's fight here. And honestly, I hate Sanji's fight here the most because of how scary it was to me, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, this battle traumatized me as a kid. And then traumatized me watching it again where I'm like, oh, no, I can't, no.
Right, because he's in the water. The fishmen are more powerful in the water, obviously. And Sanji tries to fight back, but he's not very powerful in the water.
He's fighting underwater. So, yeah, you get... And, like, this one also made me think a lot about physics, where it's just like, yeah, like, you got pressure, like, you're going down and it's hard to breathe. And then you also have resistance from the water. So, it is stopping the way that you move in water. And Sanji, yeah, he's trying to throw some kicks, but you can't move really well underwater. But the fishermen can. Yeah, the fishermen, because they're fish and they know how to move. So.
Yeah, so... Sanji needs air, Fishman gets in his way, and then he does like what is it that he says? Polarizing pressure punch or something like that. And he just takes Sanji down to the depths. And you can sort of see the water pressure getting
choking right now. Like, I'm choking
Don't
right
choke,
now.
It's not real. There's air here. Breathe, Godswill, breathe.
Okay. Just thinking about it. See, you don't even know how I was watching this episode. I was like, oh my goodness, no. And then like Sanji's like trying to like swim up to air still, right? And then oh God. God, I hate this.
You really did hate this.
I really did hate this. Like where yeah, like as he's about to, oh man, this hurts. So like as he's about to reach the top of the water, like the fishman, like Karubi grabs him and does like the seismic like throw all the way down to the bottom, and like that fast pressure pushes like his organs, like it crushes it. And I was like, how are you alive, Sanji, you monster? But this whole thing just scared the but Jesus crap out of me, because I was like, no, I can't. Like I'm gonna be Usopp in this fight, all right? I'm not going anywhere near the water. I would have told you. I'm like, no. Sorry, Luffy, I love you, but not this fight. Anyways. Sorry. Okay.
So Sanji makes a smart move, though, and he figures out that if the guy breathes water underwater, he can push air into his gills, and then he will suffocate. So he does that, and he lets him go.
Whatever air he had.
Right? Do you have air left, Sanji? How is that even possible?
I have no clue.
He goes out of the water. He's like, Zoro, don't worry.
Don't worry. He's like, okay. After all that, jeez.
But Sanji's like immediately ready to continue fighting. He's like making kick combos, face shot, and he
that
defeats.
Was cool, though.
Right?
I was happy with that. I was like, dude, this is a cool move, and he kicks Karubi through like the building. I was like, wow, okay, you got some mad tops right there, man.
So the octopus is down, Karubi's down, and
he's a manta ray, by the way.
He is.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was like,
I can see that.
Yeah.
So Arlong is super mad that his two best men are down, or fishmen. And then we go back to Usopp, where Usopp's having his own battle.
Oh boy! What'd you think? Like I actually like this Usopp fight a lot.
I really liked it because we go back and he we see that he's down, and we're like, he's covered in blood, and we're like, what happened to Usopp so quickly? And we didn't even see it. Like, we didn't see what happened, but it was a fake. It was ketchup. He does the classic move, classic fake.
I'm thinking, like, what type of ketchup do I need to get so I can do
that?
So
it looks like blood.
Yeah,
ketchup doesn't look like.
Yeah, I was like, that's a little bit too thick. I think maybe he makes his own ketchup where he might dilute it. Who knows, right? But I'm like, maybe I could use some of that. The more I'm watching this as an adult, I'm like, the more Usopp just sort of gels with me. I'm like, that's not a good thing.
Yeah. And then something happens that I really like. Big Mouth leaves, and he gets up and he starts like getting some dirt on himself.
Like, I fought real hard, guys.
He starts making up the story of what he's gonna tell the others. I fought real hard, and then he realizes, like, wait, I'm lying. Like, I have not really fought hard. I should get up and start fighting again because all of the other guys are still fighting. So I really like that.
Yes, that was good.
Usopp might be a coward, and
he gets back up and he does the right thing when it needs to.
He does the right thing.
Yeah.
Although he still lies.
Yes.
And he's still a coward. But he ends up doing the right thing, which is important.
So now we see some of Usopp's moves, and also like him using his brain a lot, which is dope. Although he did it in a sort of dumb way, like where like at least he started this particular fight. He was like, "Hey, I'm not dead yet," and it was like, "Why don't you just shoot him?" Versus, okay, right?
Instead of calling him,
right? It's like, I know you want to be brave, but be smart still. You can be brave and cowardly at the same time.
Yeah,
I don't know. Be smart.
So he does like a hammer move, and then
Usopp hammer to his shin.
And then he immediately, and I laughed my ass off when this happened. He uses the Usopp rubber band of doom.
Oh, this whole fight cracked me up.
And he said that with that voice.
And then Chu is like, "Oh God, it's gonna hit me."
Chu literally believes that it is something of doom, and he closes his eyes, and when he opens them, he's not there. So technically it worked because he was able to escape.
That's so good. Oh man! And then, Usopp's doing some real smart things when he runs. He throws, he's throwing a lot of things. He throws a sake bottle at him, which breaks. And Chu is covered in alcohol, and then he sets that on fire. And he goes over to him and beats him up like with a hammer. And I was like, wow, that's brutal right there. But,
and he continues to beat him constantly. Like, he's like, Usopp.
Usopp hammer, Usopp hammer, Usopp hammer, rubber band.
That was the funniest battle I have seen. I laughed.
That killed me. Also,
so much.
I have to say, I absolutely love the dub for this one. Like, I think Sonny Strait, the voice of Usopp, absolutely killed it for me. Like, I won't be forgetting that for a while. It stuck in my head, and it was great. Oh, man,
it was great.
Such a good fight.
It was great.
And then we go back to Zoro and Sanji, and they are knocked out, actually. Zoro's like pretty much KO'd, and then Sanji gets up, and he's bleeding, and I'm like, what just happened? And it's just like, jeez.
Yeah, they're taking a beating from Arlong, and Nami finally gets there. And she's like, I'm here to kill you. Arlong like, okay.
Yeah,
so we continue.
Right.
Dark screen.
Yeah, no.
I don't know this one.
I don't blame you. Soon you'll get it.
You think so?
I think so.
I want As a Kid back.
Meet,
As a Kid.
Man, now you got me sad. For all you collectors out there, episode of Sabo is available now on Blu-ray and DVD, so you can watch it dubbed for the very first time. And also, Adventure of Nebulandula is up for pre-order, and it'll be coming out on June 18th, which will be dubbed also for the first time. So you can get these and all the collections 1 through 22, 23, and they're all available on home video on the Funimation Shop, where you can get everything and even more, actually merchandise and a lot more too. So be sure to check all that out and add One Piece to your shelf.
Episode 41. Luffy at full power, Nami's determination, and the straw hat.
Oh yeah.
Dang dang dang. Nami got there. She's like, I'm here to kill you. And Arlong's like, sorry, but you gotta stay in this group forever or I'll kill all the villagers. And Nami's like, what am I gonna do? But she decides to trust Luffy. and which is the right thing to do. I mean, Luffy's a great guy. He's clearly your friend. I mean, he's been waiting around all this time just to help you.
And
even though you told him to fuck off.
Yeah, right.
Beep off. Sorry about that.
I like it. No, we're going to get there. We're saying more curses, yes. But, yes. Yeah, right? Like, where it's like, honestly, I agree. Like, because I wouldn't blame Nami for not being able to believe in Luffy. It's like, you see the power of the fishman. You know, you've seen Luffy versus all these other guys, and he's done a great job. But, you know, there are humans, right? Versus fishmen. They're a whole other league. So I wouldn't have blamed Nami for also believing, you know, not being able to believe in him, especially as you see him stuck on the bottom of the ocean still, right? And as you see like a lot of problems happening, but you know, like if she makes it work, they make it work out, and she believes in Luffy and the squad. You know, as they get up, Zoro stands up. You know, as like they say, like a whole speech of believing in each other. I'm like, this is great. And then Sanji also stands up, and he's gonna do what he can to also save Luffy too, which. It's pretty endearing, especially after the whole thing. I would be traumatized. I'm like, I'm not going back to the water ever again. Sorry, Luffy, but I might try to fight up here, but I'm not going down there again. Especially when you tell me there's other people up there that can do the same thing to me.
Yeah.
Bump that, man.
So Usopp arrives, and he's so proud of himself.
I'm proud of him, too.
Yeah, for beating... Chew. And he's like, yeah, I'm ready to do more, you know.
Everyone stand back. I got the rubber band to do.
He does that again.
All right, Zoro, get in there.
He does that again to give Zoro an opening, and it actually works. It works.
He does it work?
It works. Arlong looks away, and Zoro is able to make a strike.
Oh my god! I remember Hachan is like, "Oh god, he's gonna do," because Hachan is like, "Oh god, he's gonna hit." he's
the only one who freaks out. Yeah.
And everyone's like, "What's he doing?" Oh man,
this was so funny.
He's like, "The rubber band's gonna hit me."
I really like this episode, really, honestly, because it's the last few episodes, because they're so funny. But still, we're in the middle of a serious fight.
One thing about One Piece that is awesome to me is that it can be simultaneously like heart-wrenching and endearing and like emotional, but at the same time balls to the wall funny. Yeah. Like where like this whole thing cracked me up. Golly. I mean, and then you actually see Usopp shoot his rubber band and it goes off to the side. That was so dumb.
So Hachan is up and he goes in after Sanji. I'm like, yet again, is Sanji going to have another underwater battle?
Golly, yeah, I was scared. I was like, geez, two back to back.
The worst. But Zoro's like, don't worry, he won't last long. And as soon as he gets into the water, like all of his wounds from his fight with Zoro open up. Like I don't know what was holding him together.
That's a great point. Like I didn't even think about that. I was just like, that makes sense. And I was like, wait, yeah, you're right. Why didn't he cut open before? But okay. You should be able to see me, but
yeah, maybe it was the water pressure, you know, because you have to make more effort to move in water.
I guess, but then again, he didn't feel it. He's just walking around. Just, right. You know, like determination is going to keep me together, and then it's like water pressure. Oh no! Man.
So Zoro's trying to fight Arlong, but Arlong's just like sword fighting with his nose, you know, and being better at it. So Sanji. Freeze Luffy with a kick, with an underwater kick, and I'm wondering where this kick was before.
You're right. Like, didn't we just talk about this? But okay.
Okay.
Physics.
So Luffy, since Luffy's head is being held outside, right?
That was funny, like how they're holding his head, hoping that it doesn't like snap back in the wrong way.
So when Sanji frees him, his body just sort of catapults out of the water.
I was like, is he gonna go fly in the other water direction?
Yeah.
I was worried about that.
He didn't though. And on his he's flying, he catches Zoro and throws him over his head.
Yeah, right.
Into the sun. Like, we don't even see where he lands, I think.
Poor Zoro. It was like back-to-back injuries like this.
with a fever. We had seen like
his wounds opening up.
Arlong had like ripped off his bandages.
That was brutal.
And we saw that he was like all stapled up. Like it wasn't look good. It doesn't look good for Zoro, honestly. I'm not sure how he's even alive, honestly.
I think they all say that too. It's like I think Arlong was like, "How are you alive, man?"
I think he was actually.
And like, I don't know, man. Determination. But yeah, and then they just give him a 20-foot drop. No biggie, right? Yeah, it works out. Zoro gets to get a rest, which is good. Lucky, we hope, right? We don't know.
And Luffy's back finally.
And he's actually doing some pretty good hits to Arlong too. As soon as he gets there, whereas like, okay, we were right to trust in Luffy because he gets some good hits, and Arlong's like, oh, okay, you know a thing or two, okay,
right?
Yeah.
And Arlong's like, you know what the biggest difference between us is? And Luffy's being Luffy, and he's like, is it the nose? Is it the jaw? The webbing? He's like, no, species, you puny little human.
Yeah.
Like, I am way bigger than you. I am way stronger than you. I'll always be stronger than you because I'm a different species than you. And I'm like, xenophobic much?
You're right.
A little bit.
Right. And well, I'm not gonna say too much about that, but like otherwise, but like like for me, I guess like that was a good point. Like where it's like I don't know like where he's coming from with this, but it sort of makes you endear Luffy so much more because he's not paying attention to those things, surface level things. Like he's just like, hey, you're just another dude too. Even though yes, you are a different species, you're another dude, but you're a bad dude because and now I gotta kick your ass for that. So which is something that is nice though.
Yeah, he's like, there's no way I'm gonna lose to a fishman because I'm gonna be king of the pirates. And I'm like, I haven't heard that one in a while.
He said the thing. He said the thing.
He said the thing.
Episode 42, Explosion. Fishman Arlong's fierce assault from the sea. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. The final battle is here.
The final countdown.
I love final battles.
Me too.
I love it. All the moves come out.
Man.
You don't know what's going to happen, but you sort of do.
Yeah. You do. After a while, you'll stop understanding like, what's about to happen. But yes, like for now, yes. But yes, it's the final battle, and good times are about to happen. Hopefully, we're about to see. All right. And so Luffy versus Arlong, and honestly, everyone did a really good job. I mean, they beat up all their other dudes that got to beat up, and now we're just hoping to see like how Luffy does against Arlong, right? And they have a pretty cool fight going on. Like a lot of things that I wouldn't have thought would have happened. But some nice twists and turns with this.
Yeah, and Arlong's like, he continues his speech like, you're a puny little human, you can never conquer the Grand Line, you can't break stuff, you can't fight with a sword, and...
Oh yeah, because like earlier on in this fight, like before... Luffy's trying to use a sword against him. He doesn't know how to use a sword at all.
And Luffy's like, you know what? You're right. Like, I don't know how to do any of that. Like, but my friends make me better. Like, I can't fight with swords. I got a swordsman. I can't cook, and I can't lie.
That's a good point. Like, whereas, like, sometimes you're like, Luffy's useless, right? But then it's like, nah, like when it matters, like moments like this, when he does have to go against that final boss, you can count on Luffy to do that. Yeah,
you can count on Luffy. And then we see that Luffy, everybody depends on Luffy because he's super strong because of his devil fruit power. But we see right now that something that maybe we didn't realize before, that Luffy also counts on his friends. Like he has his friends and he knows that he can count on them and their abilities to be a great swordsman and cook and lie.
That can be important, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we saw how that helped him. So, yeah, it works out.
So Luffy punches Arlong in the face and he breaks his teeth. But he's a shark, so the teeth immediately grow back.
I honestly want that power because I've been to a dentist so many times, and I'm like, I need bionic teeth at this point,
And Luffy's like, that's so cool.
I was like, that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. And then we see him take out his teeth too, right?
Yeah.
And what'd you call them too, by the way?
Luffy gets an idea, and he Ew, I'm sorry. I'm just disgusted just thinking about it. He puts Arlong's teeth.
I honestly want that power because I've been to a dentist so many times and I'm like, I need bionic teeth at this point, you know?
And Luffy's like, that's so cool.
I was like, that's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. And then we see him take out his teeth too, right?
Yeah.
And what'd you call them too, by the way?
Luffy gets an idea and he... Ew, I'm sorry. I'm just disgusted just thinking about it. He puts Arlong's teeth inside his mouth.
Oh, man.
And he tries to use it, but obviously it doesn't work.
I think I would have tried that too, honestly.
But
to
come on, he doesn't have the jaw power. So how did you think that worked?
I wouldn't have thought that either.
Have you ever seen Shark Week ever in your life?
I've been wanting to, and I always forget when it is.
It's in August every year.
Oh.
That's free advertising right there.
Discovery Channel.
I love
Sponsor.
Shark Week. I don't know why it is.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I hear it's all the rage, and I'm just here like, do I want to watch Shark Week?
I mean, it's basically the same info every year, honestly.
But now you know it better than before, right?
But the important thing is the jaws.
Okay.
It's what it makes the
So
pressure.
they got jaw strength.
Oh?
They got jaw strength.
Yeah,
Right? Okay.
and then that makes the teeth
I
all
think
the,
I would've
all
tried
the
it.
more powerful.
Ah.
So without that strength, Luffy can't do anything with... yeah.
I probably would have tried it
I
too.
wish you guys could see Godswill trying to do
Can you
that.
guys hear it?
So Arlong starts
He takes out his
he
teeth
takes
like on
out
purpose.
his teeth, yeah, and he sort of makes this little castañuelas.
Castañuelas.
Yeah. You know what those are?
Yeah, like, that's like the clicker
the Spanish,
thing. Right?
the Spanish instrument
Uh-huh.
that does like the click, 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 click. So he's got like his teeth, like some little castañuelas.
I wouldn't like. I was like, that's super interesting right there. I was like, what? I like that you called it that.
And
Really.
he starts like trying to get Luffy with them, but Luffy's like standing behind some fishman. So it doesn't-
Oh yeah, he uses the fishermen as shields. He's like, sorry. It's like, how can you bite your own guys like that? That was funny. Like they're like, boss, how could you bite us like that? And it's just like, why don't you guys just move out the way? Oh, well. Like that is no one's fault but y'all's, right? Oh well. No
So
worries.
final stage of the battle. What happens now?
So yeah, Arlong grabs Luffy, and then but like Luffy like is still beating him down and like is actually like punching him. So then Arlong is like, okay, I'm gonna go through the water and like shoot out of the water like an arrow, So like he gets like speed in the water and he shoots out of it. And Luffy can't see where he's at, so it's supposed to be a good move. And it's powerful, but luckily Luffy's able to dodge a lot of those moves too. But then as he's dodging it, he grabs his hand into like a web. Like I forget what the move's called, like gum net thing. I'm not sure. Anyways, this was a sort of bizarre move to me too. I was like, who would have thought? I would have figured like if he's gonna come out the water like that, he's gonna cut my fingers like that. But he makes a net with his hand and catches Arlong as he comes out the water. I guess he just makes a hole for his nose that would do that, and then he's able to
Sort of bounce off of him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and bang him inside, which I thought was a brilliant move, but really dangerous thing. And that's Luffy, high risk, high reward type of guy, right? Man, so yeah, I'm pretty excited. And then also, so he traps him in the net, bangs him inside of his house, and then Arlong's pissed, and then he comes out and he gets his sword weapon, which is the saw blade. And he's like, okay, I'm so tired of you. I'm just gonna kill you like this. Like no more trying to capture you or like make fun of you or whatever. Like he's too much of a threat. So then as he's cutting up, but like Luffy's dodging everything, and he accidentally starts cutting up. Arlong starts cutting up like all the maps are in this room.
Yeah. He gives this speech about how he's never letting go of Nami because she belongs to him, which is awful. Nobody belongs to anybody.
I know, right? And also, like, this whole thing is like, wow, man, like this is like really bad of you to think of that, especially like if you're gonna think of species. You shouldn't think of species as
exactly
lesser.
because he believes humans are a lesser species, and he just wants to use them to his benefit. He loathes them clearly. And he sees them as possessions that he can just keep or get treasure out of, which is horrible.
All I'll say is just remember this for the future too.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Cool too.
But yes.
Luffy's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Nami's our navigator.
Exactly.
And it's about to go down.
So, and it's awesome. And so, we're about to see, like, pretty soon, like, why also Luffy's just dodging versus, like, knocking out Arlong ASAP.
We're going to see that in the next episode.
Welcome back to One Piece at a Time. My name is Godswill, and my mission today is to learn how to swim. Well, not today, but this year, hopefully.
My name is Josellie Rios, and my mission is to teach Godswill Ugwa how to swim before the summer ends.
You're going to teach me how to swim?
Yeah.
Yay.
I have a pool.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Let's do it.
I'm going to take you up on that.
Yeah, I'm an island girl. I can show you.
I'm going to be great then. I won't die like this. I won't be traumatized anymore. I'm going to get past my trauma. Mom, I mean, what?
We'll get you some floaties.
Yeah.
We'll do the whole stuff.
I'm going to post a picture of this.
Yes.
It's going to be great. So anyway, also, don't forget you can also watch all One Piece anime episodes on Funimation.com/OnePiece or the Funimation Now app, and check out our blog at funi.to/onepiecepodcast for all the info on our binge routes and more information about our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So now, we pretty much are almost done with Arlong Park. Oh my gosh. Like, this has been...
It was an intense arc, I have to say. Like
this has been the most intense so far, right?
The most intense. Nami's past is super intense. And then when we get back to the present, this whole battle, the whole Arlong rhetoric, where he's, just being a little bit xenophobic towards humans and just using them. It's a lot.
It is. And I mean, it's really nice to see it come to an end here. So right now we're on episode 43, End of the Fishman Empire. Nami's my friend.
Nami's my friend.
She is my friend. So, now we are seeing Arlong chopping up. Like, he is using his saw blade, and he's trying to chop Luffy up, but he's missing, and he ends up cutting up all of the sea charts that are in this room that they are fighting in.
Yep, and I think that's sort of Luffy's plan, because Arlong's been saying how Nami's so good at making sea charts, and he really has the power to really use her. Like Luffy, what are you gonna use her? Like, you're just a puny little human, and he's like, it's not my intention to use her. And Luffy's super mad when he says that. He's like, what do you take her for? Like, she's not just some thing that you can use.
Some item.
So I think he's like jumping around so that Arlong breaks all of this stuff on purpose. Do you think that's...
And Arlong's, he's in a blind rage. I mean, like, Luffy's been, making fun of him this whole time, like, just like the way they fight. And I mean, I would be pissed if I was trying to fight Luffy too, right? So, like, he's actually ended up destroying a lot of this room, and he even ends up pushing out, like, a lot of these charts and throwing them out and doing his own damage as possible. So, and like this whole arc, honestly, he's been really good with just like his own emotional intelligence, like where he's not really saying he didn't say much this whole time. He was asleep. He didn't pay attention during the flashback. He didn't talk to Nami to see how she's doing. He's just sort of going by like his intuition, like this whole thing. So, and I think he's doing an amazing job.
He is.
Yeah.
So we actually then get to see the end of the battle, where Arlong just bites into Luffy, and he sort of grabs him by the neck, and Luffy brings down, like, he makes this super stretchy foot, like, up to the sky, and drops it down on Arlong.
Gum axe right there, Yep.
And then
ends up bringing down the whole building.
The building just collapses, and there's like a moment where we're like, where is he? But Luffy emerges, and he just yells, Nami, you'll always be my friend.
Emotions.
He did all of this for her.
Yeah.
Like, this is the whole reason he got into this battle, was because his friend asked him to help her.
And I mean, we're all crying. I mean, like, Nami's crying. Zoro's asleep. But, I mean, like,
he had a fever. He deserves to get some rest, honestly.
He's went through a lot. I mean, maybe he's unconscious after falling 20 feet too. Yeah. But I mean, everyone's pretty happy that now the nightmare's done. Like the nightmare of the that these guys have been living for 8 years. Especially Nami, like, it's done. which is amazing.
Yeah, and there's this cute moment where Nami and Luffy just high five, and I found that really cute because it's like, it seems like immediately things are back to normal with them. You know, like this. The fact that this whole thing went down doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that Nami owes Luffy some kind of anything. It's just like, we're friends. We did it.
That's good. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, because I think I would have thought like, oh, you owe me now, right? Like now you have to join my crew or something like that. I mean, especially like this has been like a big deal, huge deal, and also after you stole my ship,
right? But all of this time since she stole the ship and Luffy found her and all of this went down, there wasn't a moment where this was even brought up. So. Yeah, it's just friendships.
Good on them. That was so touching, so touching. Although the moment's ruined because the rat marine that was stealing the money from earlier is still on the island.
He's still here.
Yeah, right. But luckily Zoro is just like cut it out and he beats him up. And you know, like actually the whole Straw Hat group is like piling up on them, which is nice. You know, it's like good, like get rid of them. And Nami tells him he's gonna help rebuild the town and give her money back, and they end up leaving the town. So it's a good thing. Although this sets up some moments for later on, which are going to be important for the world of One Piece too, right?
I can't wait to see what those are. And then we sort of see a flashback of the whole ordeal that's been lasting how many episodes? Almost
like a good 12?
12 episodes, more or less. Yeah. And it's pretty cool to see how far they've come. Like, they left the Baratie, and then all of this thing went down. Yeah. And now they're finally found Nami, got their ship back, and now they're back on track.
She's really part of the crew.
So at the end of this episode, we see that the Rat Marine radios headquarters and declares that Luffy and his crew are enemies of the state.
Ooh, true pirate now.
And he sends a picture over, and they make a wanted flyer for Luffy, and Luffy's face is just like his big smile.
Cheese.
It's super funny.
I love it. And he actually has a really high bounty, but we're going to see that a little bit later on.
To be continued.
So I asked this question on our social media channels on Facebook, which is on the One Piece official page, and then on Twitter, which is on the @OnePieceAnime page. So, and the question that I asked fans today is, before we met Jinbei and before we went to Fisherman Island and before we did much things with Fisherman, what did you think about Fisherman as we saw them at Arlong Park? And, you know, as the first humanoid species of One Piece.
Interesting.
Yeah, exactly, right? And you know what? John actually thought they would look like the Luffy drawing from before. Where it would just be a fish with legs, right?
I love that part.
And I was like, you know what? That's a really fair thing. You know, Gaspé says, I was wondering if they can still swim if they ate a devil fruit, because, you know, like, I mean, I would have honestly thought that they were devil fruit users, but then it's like, oh, they're different species. Okay.
But that is quite an interesting question, because they're sea creatures. Would they stop being able to swim?
Yeah. Yeah, and then James on Facebook says, I thought Arlong would be the peak of morally inept villains in One Piece. Boy, I was wrong.
Geez.
Yep.
Well, I can see that, because I mean, every time I meet a new bad guy, I think he's the worst.
Yeah, right.
And then, like, when I met Buggy, I thought he was the worst.
Right.
And then
that's why I know I saw like Captain Kurgan. I was like, oh, he's not that bad.
Then Don Krieg, and I was like, he's the worst. And now Arlong, he's the worst. Like, he just hates humans for no reason. Just for being humans.
You know, I'm going to choose OG Rubberman again on Twitter. He says, racism exists even for fish.
Even for fish.
Right.
True facts.
Knuckle, son of Knockgill. I probably messed up your name, but whatever, right? But honestly, they were introduced perfectly as this evil species that is a threat to humans, and the viewers are dragged through an emotional turmoil because of them. You are only later to be shown something that's going to change your mind. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's really good. Just as we said, don't keep an idea of anything you see. Things are going to change all the time. Good might be bad, bad might be good. We're going to see. So, yeah, some good stuff. So, yeah, definitely. If you have any other questions or if you want to answer a question, pay attention to the questions we post on both of our pages and you might be featured. So, yeah, check that out.
Yeah. Number 44, Setting Out with a Smile. Farewell, hometown Kokoyashi Village. Kokoyashi Village actually reminds me of Kakariko Village from Zelda, just because they're phonetically sort of similar. When I read that, I was like,
I was thinking,
Kakariko? Wait, no, Kokoyashi.
Chicken. Yeah, right. Yeah. I was thinking chicken as you read it. I was like, Like, I'm thinking, where the chicken, the cocoa, like the cuckoo, the things that you throw.
Yeah, the cuckoo.
You're right. I'm glad I'm not alone because I was thinking that.
Chickens.
I know, right? Except for when you get them angry, right? Anyways, party time. Party time.
Yeah. In this episode, it's like the aftermath of the big battle, and I really like how there's an aftermath episode after, they just don't sail into the sunset, after the battle.
What happened?
So there's like an aftermath episode, and there was one for the Baratie also.
That's a good point.
So the town is throwing like this sort of independence festival / parade.
Because, they've been liberated after like 8 years, and it's like the nightmare is really done. Like, we did it. Nami's back, and, the Marines who, didn't save us. So why not celebrate the pirates who saved us, right?
Luffy's stuffing his face. Sora's getting fixed for real. He's not just stapled.
What do you mean staples won't work?
And the doctor's like, don't you have a doctor on your ship? Like, because so far, Sora's been hurt a lot. And he's just been carrying around like nothing happened. And
although we've seen him, what happens when he tries to carry on like nothing happened, right?
Yeah.
He almost died during the fighting.
So Luffy's like, good idea, but we need a musician first. So is this who we're going to see
Priorities.
next? Like, I can't wait to see who else joins.
Priorities.
Honestly.
Oh, I can't wait for you to see who else is going to join.
Because I know, I've seen enough posters.
The pictures, but at the same time, from the pictures you've seen, you won't be able to guess who.
I don't know exactly. I don't know who's coming next or when they're coming.
Exactly.
I just know that there are some people that I'm missing.
And also, you wouldn't be able to guess like what each person does.
No. Yeah, definitely.
So, I'm excited for you to see how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've been partying for 3 days straight. I'm like, okay, that's a lot of.
And Zoro's back to his boring shirt, which I don't appreciate. Like, I wish he would have kept the blue shirt. It looked good.
Yeah,
it was
honestly,
a good look.
I think so too, but the boring white shirt is just sort of like.
I love outfit changes. I've stated that enough.
True. Don't worry. You're going to see some more soon. So that is one great thing.
So everyone's having fun. Sanji's dancing with the girls. Usopp's proclaiming himself in the parade. He's like, Usopp's so great and stuff. Which is very
he's just drunk and just like cheering himself on. I'm like, man, what a guy. I need confidence like that. And then at the same time, we see Nami trying to get rid of her tattoo, and she has an idea. Although I'm surprised that she's getting a tattoo after she stabbed herself in the arm. Right. Like that. I'm like, yikes. Or like, shouldn't we see like just these giant scars if she healed it like that? But,
and we see it later in the episode, but since we're talking about the tattoo right now, she ends up getting, at first, when she handed the doctor the paper, because she has this flashback about Najiko getting her own tattoos in solidarity with her. So I was like, maybe she's going to get the same tattoos as her sister,
cool.
since she got them for her. But she ends up getting a mix of a tangerine and a pinwheel.
Yeah.
And then we know the story of the pinwheel, which was so cute.
Feels. I was like, I'm happy that she gave some credence to Genzo, because Genzo really was like their dad. Was like looking out for them the whole time.
Yeah.
No matter what, like he got scars that make him look like a Frankenstein because trying to protect the girls multiple times. And the city, or town, I should say. And he's looked out for them. And, even the purpose of him getting this pinwheel was for the benefit of the girls as they were kids, like baby kids.
Yeah.
So that way, when Genzo looked like a fearsome, rugged man, he put a pinwheel and put it in his hat so that way the girls could stare at it and, be enthralled by it. And that meant a lot to me. I was like, oh. that might get me to cry, but not yet. No tears yet. No tears yet. Hold on. Man, good times. Good stuff. And then tangerines is for her mother, Bellamere, like who grew tangerines and also even for the whole village, as tangerines is like their staple food, their export. So good stuff.
So we see a little scene too with Genso and Luffy, where Genso is at Bellamere's grave and Luffy comes over and he says, well, he tries to say his deepest condolences, but he starts like, my sincerest conveniences. And I'm like, that's not right, Luffy. That is so not right. And Genso sort of tells him, like, if you hurt Nami, I will kill you. And Luffy's like, I think Luffy can't even understand where he's coming from. And he's like, okay, because
I just beat that guy up. You really fight me?
Beat the Shark Emperor for her.
Why
you like?
We think I'm gonna do, old man, right? Genzo's speaking like a dad, where
but yeah, exactly. Yeah, that proves more to your point that he's sort of her father figure.
Yeah, which has been really nice. And I guess he's just saying it to really say it, but like, remember, don't hurt Nami for sure as you go out on this. But it's like, I just gotta say my thing, because that's what we gotta do.
Yeah. So what else happens? Nami sort of goes back to her house and, to say goodbye because now she's leaving for real. And she sort of starts remembering of the memories with her mom and this thing that she always told her, be brave and smile and nothing will stop you. What do you think about that?
That hurt.
Be brave and smile, and nothing will stop you.
And I just like what Jana said before, I guess, like with, like saying that, and like this is like the last message from Bellamere, especially as she's about to like really leave home permanently, So,
I think it's tough because it sounds easy. It sounds like the good thing to do, be brave and smile. But it's tough sometimes to be brave and smile.
Yeah, especially after all like hard stuff they had to go through, right? Like, but Nami did do her best though, like even like I remember like as we saw the flashback of her stealing money, she was always smiling, like to whenever she saw Nojiko, she was always smiling and laughing and just like, yeah, no big deal, yeah, I saw a lot of people don't want to kill me, but I'm good.
I'll have it. I can handle it.
Yeah. And you said that this was creepy?
Yeah. Because she says goodbye to Bellamere in the house, and as she's stepping out, something creepy happens. Yeah. Like, she feels Bellamere sort of push her out.
I thought that was endearing.
Like, sort of, I guess, like, in approval that she's leaving, which I get it, but that's creepy. Like,
okay, I guess
if I'm stepping out of an empty house and something pushes me, I am going to freak out.
It's like now you mentioned it's like, yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna freak out.
I was like, that's so touching, but I was like, wait. You're telling me a ghost is pushing me out?
You know how you always say that underwater situations make you like nervous or anxious? Well, to me, like creepy situations like paranormal stuff like that creeps me out. Like I cannot.
I didn't even think that. I was like, that's so nice, and you're like, wait a second, think about this, right? You're not thinking about this.
Is there a ghost in this house?
We need to exercise this thing right now. Go. You're supposed to be in heaven, Bellamere. What are you doing here?
Walk to the light, Bellamere. So the crew stocks up for their next adventure. And a farewell happens. Johnny and Yosaku say...
No, my boys. Boys.
They have been very, very useful this whole time, honestly.
I would love for them to be part of the crew.
Yeah.
They could totally be part of the crew.
But I feel like they were, very, very much actually part of the crew, even if temporary.
Yeah. I felt them because I was
sort of like how Kobe was for the few days that he was. Like I felt he was actually part of the crew, even though he just left.
I'm part of Marines now, but yeah, he's a homie for sure.
Yeah, so I feel that way about them. I feel like they're homies, and I hope we see them again.
I do too, actually. Yeah. I do too. I really do enjoy them, and it was really nice watching these few episodes here. But yeah, I'm sad. Oh, well, everyone's got to do their life, which is nice.
And they have a job. They say, like, they're pirate hunters, so they have to get back to their job. They were
best pirate hunters.
Working
with pirates.
But they're like, our mission was to guide you, and we did.
That's
so
nice, though.
So that's it for them. And so they're getting ready to sail. Sanji's sort of losing it because he thinks that Nami may not come with.
Where's Nami? She's coming with us.
Precious Nami.
Oh my gosh.
But Nami is coming.
But she has to do one cool thing before she leaves, right? So she's like, "Yo, set the sails," and then she's running. And she's running through the crowd, and everyone's like, "Wait, let us thank you and let us say goodbye to you and give you some hugs and whatever, right?" And then she jumps onto the boat, and it's like, "Ooh, okay, that's pretty cool." But then we see her just dump out everyone's wallets as she's like on the boat.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, that's
it's
cold.
not that she didn't want to say goodbye; it's that she was stealing your stuff, guys.
Oh my God, don't trust her. But didn't you say that in the beginning, right?
And Luffy and Sanji are like, "Yay, she's here!" They don't even care.
Right.
Zoro and Usopp's like, "That's not nice, Nami.
Right.
I'm on their side." I'm like,
for personally, I was like, "Yeah, I'm on their side too." So chill.
And then that's it for the Aftermath episode. We see this ship just sail into the horizon.
We got a new crew member who's an old crew member. Yay!
Exactly. So, we got a new crew member, but for realsies.
For real this time. Knock on wood. We are now going on to one more wrap-up, I would say, of like this whole thing that just happened. And like I guess like the whole first season, sort of, like where... like all the things that Luffy has done. So now it's time for episode 45, Bounty. Straw Hat Luffy becomes known to the world.
Ooh, because there's a pirate flyer out there in the world. So this part, I really like the intro part of this episode. I found it hilarious because Nami's buying a newspaper from a seagull. Because how else?
Yeah, because I was like, wait, what happened? And then I was like,
how else would you buy a newspaper on a ship in the middle of the ocean?
You know,
and this seagull has like a hat, like it's an official newspaper seagull.
You know, I guess I'm so used to it now that, like, you know, the bizarre things that happen in One Piece, I'm like, oh yeah, that happens. And it's like, oh yeah. Like,
at what point did you stop being surprised?
You never get stopped being surprised in One Piece.
Good,
honestly.
because I'm always like,
yes,
of course a seagull sells the newspaper.
Exactly. Oh no, for sure. You hadn't even seen nothing yet because it's about to get crazier. Like this is the normal things that One Piece does. Like, oh yeah, this is what the world does. It's like, wait, what?
And I want to mention that Nami has a new shirt.
Yes,
she has a teal V-neck.
Okay.
Very nice.
Stripe days are gone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, now she's with the teal V-neck.
And we see Usopp sort of preparing his special Tabasco star. And I was like, well, honestly, Usopp might not be that dumb because he's sort of, dealing with chemicals
I never thought of him as
stuff.
dumb. I always thought of him as smart, sometimes he does dumb emotional things, which is fair.
And we also see that Nami brought some tangerine trees on the ship, which... I think is very smart.
I think it's smart, but I thought it was weird. I was like, how do you put a tree in a boat?
I tried not to rationalize, the process of how these trees are even able to survive on a boat.
Like, okay.
Because there's limited water and soil.
And the air, yeah,
salt air.
Right.
But hey,
if it works, it works, right?
They won't have any scurvy.
No scurvy. So yeah, life's pretty good. And then in the newspaper, we see that new bounties are out. Yay. And everyone's freaking out because we see that Luffy has a new bounty. 30 million berries, which is huge, huge money for this kid who came out of a barrel.
Right.
Right.
Just proclaiming himself king of the pirates. And now he's the pirate with the highest bounty in history. They say, at least.
Yes. At least in that area.
In that area, yes, they say it's unprecedented because Buggy had a 15 million, Krieg had 17, and Arlong had 20 or 25, something like
one
that.
of those,
So yeah, and actually they mentioned that on average bounties are 3 million. So all of these guys had high, but Luffy's like, no, he's on another
10 times
level.
Exactly. And I mean, honestly, he is on that other level. Like, I mean, if you beat Arlong, and also pretty handily, I would have to say, like, it can only get better. So I'm excited. And also the funny thing is, Usopp's in the picture too. He's like, I'm in the picture. And he's like, where? And you just see the back of his head and he's like, famous.
Yeah, he's so happy.
I was like,
and
so
Sanji's sort of jealous.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
He doesn't have a flyer.
Really? Okay. Whatever, right?
Does this mean that if somebody catches Usopp, they'll get
maybe
a couple berries?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like part of that money right there. It's like, we didn't get everyone in this picture.
And then we see actually a very cute part too, where we see everybody reacting to Luffy's flyer, and we see
all the people we've met so far.
And then we see that Mary shows Kaya the flyer, and she's super happy to see the back of Usopp.
Right, it was
the
like,
picture.
really?
It's like, wow.
Because honestly, I forgot about that until I was like, oh, yeah. What do you know?
Yeah, and so she's like, yay, we're all becoming the people we want to be. I hope to see her again. I want to see what she's up to now that she's
better, right?
now that she's
anymore,
better.
Right?
We see Kobe also, who's like in the Marines, and he's reflecting, like, if we meet again, we'll be enemies now. But he's glad that Luffy's like making right.
Yeah, right. It's like, you little boy. Okay.
More Captain Morgan sees it, Captain Kuro sees it, and I think the Baratie has it like on the wall, as if they're still proud of their chore boy.
Chore boy, right? Yeah, I mean, everyone's pretty happy, although Nami is more realistic about it. Like, whereas like everyone's going to be coming after us now, but that's what they're going to do about pirates. But yeah, I mean, Nami and Zoro are like, on site, everyone's going to try to start a fight with us one way or another with us. But, Sanji, Usopp, and Luffy, like, are all excited about it. Because, I mean, hey, this is what they wanted, right? Like, whereas, like, yeah, we're pirates, and this is big time. And Usopp's in it, too, so, yeah.
I like how the crew gets to form their own opinions on situations.
Yeah,
like,
they're not all like,
like, when the Nami thing happened, like, they were also divided. Like, Sanji was and Luffy were defending Nami, Usopp and Zoro.
For different reasons.
Sort of. We're not. Does that happen to you? Like, I feel that happens with my crew of friends, at least. Like, there's always I don't want to say disagreements, but there's times where somebody has to be, like, the one who brings reason to the rest of the crew, and someone has to be
much so.
The one who keeps it lighthearted or keeps it fun.
My boys are all just dumb. We just someone jumps, we're all jumping. No thoughts.
That is so funny.
I love it. That's why they're my boys. And also, I do like that. Like that, they are very different people overall. Like they're not just a homogenous group of people, and you're gonna see that even more so as we keep going. Like whereas like they are very individual people, which is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
And now, including like more old people who see this flyer is Iron Fist full body. Right. The guy like that Sanji embarrassed. Just
at the Baratie.
The worst way, unfortunately, right?
In front of a girl.
Oh, man. It's one thing to, be like, you don't know what wine this is and your food, but to get beat up like that, ugh.
And he only remembers Luffy as the chore boy for the Baratie. So he's like, this puny little kid has got 20 million berries. Yeah. This is the time to redeem myself. And he goes after Luffy, and his boat is all messed up.
Yeah, his boat's messed up because I think like after like all the Baratie stuff, it was... Or actually, I'm trying to remember like what happened with the Baratie stuff. I mean, it just went bad for him. Things been bad. He's been down on his luck, and he's like, now's my chance to get back. But whole squad's like, we got this. Yeah, it's gonna be chill.
Yeah. He fires a cannonball at them, and Zoro cuts it in half with his sword. Yes, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. Now we're starting to see healthy Zoro.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to see how that goes. See, he cuts it in half, and then the whole crew's about to stunt. Be like, okay, no biggie. All right, so...
they win pretty easily.
Oh, yeah.
And I enjoyed that. Like, I enjoyed that fight because it lasted a few minutes, maybe. And then it was done. And they had fun with it, and then they're done. So it was just a normal, everyday fight. It wasn't we didn't have to wait and have a backstory. Right.
Full body.
Exactly.
Why is Full Body mad at them? Well, when he was a kid, you see, right?
Exactly. We didn't have to have like the whole...
One day I'm going to have a full body. That's why they're calling me Full Body. Quiet kid. No, luckily, we don't see that. But then also, we get to see good old boy Shanks
Yes. We see Mihawk in his throne raft with his green candles.
You're right. Oh, that's freaky.
And he arrives at an island and tells these guys he finds, "Take me to your boss," and it's Shanks. And I love that.
It's tense. It looks like a tense situation, but then we find out that Shanks just has a hangover.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, because I was like, are they gonna fight? Oh no, I don't remember this. And I was like, okay, it's time to party it up. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then they want to celebrate because they hear that Luffy has a 30 million bounty. And it's like, don't you have a hangover? It's like, yeah, but it'll be better if I drink some more.
Exactly.
So listen, kids. Drink to get your hangover better, and it'll be okay.
Yes, everybody. I love how everybody is very happy for Luffy because Luffy, as we know, is always presenting himself as king of the pirates, and he's recruiting a crew, and so this sort of gives everybody an update on that, and they see that Luffy is actually on the right path to make his dream come true.
It really is. I mean, like, he's definitely getting that clout, which is awesome. And then also we start to see a little bit more about the whole world of One Piece, like where we learn that now we see a map, and Nami starts explaining like how, right? Exactly. Like now we're about to really start going on the path to where the One Piece is supposed to be hidden, which is the Grand Line. Yeah. So. But to get there first, we have to go through two places first. First, we have to go through this one town, Logue Town. Logue Town is the last stop before you go to the Grand Line area. And then, and also that was where the guy who hid the One Piece, Goldie Roger, he was born, and then also where he was killed. So this is a big moment to be like, it's like a send-off of sorts. You know, like, let's go see that spot, and then we're going to go from that spot, pay our condolences to the OG pirate, and then we're going to go to the last spot of the area, which is Knockback Mountain, I believe. Yep. Yep.
And Luffy's like, why don't we sail right into it? And Nami's about to explain, but they interrupt her, so I don't get to find out why they can't just sail into it. Also, I don't sort of understand how it works. How is there a mountain? How are they going to sail to a mountain?
Don't worry.
I need more illustrations.
You got to watch it because it doesn't make sense. It just does. It's like there's not a way I can really explain it, and you're going to be like, oh, that makes sense.
I have a question, though. Yes. Map-related question. Is this world sort of one mass of land?
Yes.
That stretches from north to south? Because I'm trying to understand.
Yes. No. Which is a great point. Yes, there is that. But then, like, the place I want to go through is, like, in between the masses of land. Like, so, like, there's, like, a stretch of water. So the world is split into four hemispheres, which are the water. So, like, they'll call it the East Blue, West Blue, North Blue, South Blue, right? And then there are land masses that split it, and then there's also a water mass that splits it that can't be traversed through normal sailing.
There are water masses that you can't go through.
Yeah, it's cool. Which is called column belt. The column belt, which they will explain a little bit later on, you can't sail through them.
Okay.
Yeah, so people have to go through this different method. And then the Grand Line is where, you remember like where Don Krieg like came from and he got beat up, right? That's where a lot of the tough baddies of the world are. They're stationed there.
And the Grand Line is it a stretch of land?
Yeah, a stretch of
sea.
Sea, yeah, with islands peppered throughout.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
so it's just an area of sea.
Exactly.
Okay, I gotcha. I'm trying to,
I'm gonna see if I can find you a map because that is really important to understand.
Yeah, because I don't want to try and find it myself because I don't want to bump into
spoilers,
stuff that
you don't want that, and I don't want that for you. So
it'd be great.
Yes,
if you can find a map, and we can actually put it. I don't know, maybe put it in the blog for everybody else.
We definitely need to. And then, and that's pretty much the end of that episode. We do see like one last glimpse before the episode ends, but that's basically the whole episode. Like where we see our boy Luffy is on the way to become the man, the king of the pirates for real.
He's getting closer.
Yeah, so we're about to
Step
see
closer.
Yeah, and we're getting closer too. And also, you can get closer with the One Piece manga from our friends at Viz Media, where they actually just released the Omnibus Edition, Volume 27, which is coming out in March, or which came out in March. Yeah, and which is 3 volumes in one. So that's a great way to save money. You can read multiple volumes all at one time, and then also you can read the newest volume, which is One Piece Volume 90, which comes out May 7th. So if you like reading your manga and books and having your collection, that is a great way. 90 volumes of manga, so that's a lot.
That's a lot of manga.
Exactly, and right now they're in Whole Cake Island. Like they are about to finish Whole Cake Island with volume 90, so read that. There's a lot of good stuff. Like that's like chapter 800 and or 900. I don't forget where it's at, but it's a lot.
So now we're heading into episode 46. Chase Straw Hat, Little Buggy's Big Adventure.
Yes.
Little Buggy. We're going to meet him again.
I didn't think I would like this episode, but this episode killed me, like, with how funny it was. And honestly, how touching it is, honestly, you know? Like, I was like, do I need to watch this? But yeah, I would say watch it.
Yes.
So, we get to have a little bit of fun before we get into, like, some of the deeper stuff of One Piece, where we... Well, before we get into that part, we get to see our crew, Straw Hats. So, like, they're chilling, they're doing their thing, right? And Nami is wondering, like, what happened to Buggy? Ever since we knocked him out, his whole body out, like that little Buggy, like where his body was tied up, and they Luffy did the gum a bazooka to him. What happened to Buggy? Did he just drown in the ocean? Well, no, he did not. He's on the island, and he's still like his stubby little self, and he's trying to get back to his people, but he's tiny and.
Yeah, he's having all sorts of trouble because he's tiny.
Yes.
Like, he tries to catch a bird to eat it, but then the mama bird catches him, and they try to eat him.
Oh, my God.
What else? But it spits him out, and he lands in Gaimon's island.
Yeah.
So we also see Gaimon again.
Yeah, right.
Which is awesome, because I really liked him.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, like Gaimon and his weird animals,
Right.
like they're doing pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
now that like he doesn't have to worry about treasure anymore, he's just chilling on his island, right?
With his hippo gorilla and his tiger elephant.
Hippo gorilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, really bizarre animals, and they actually fight. They have a tiny guy fight.
Yeah,
Tiny guy fight.
This little dude on the treasure chest versus tiny Buggy.
That was a tight fight too, by the way. I was like, dang, someone's gonna die with this because Gaimon had the guns and was about to shoot him many a time, but it worked out, and eventually they come to a reconciliation because they find out Gaimon finds out that Buggy's not a poacher trying to get these animals. He just landed there accidentally, and he's trying to get out, and he's a pirate, And he's like, hey,
so he's
I'm
like,
a
okay,
Yeah.
I'm a pirate. We can be friends.
So this party.
It's a party.
Yeah.
Are the animals drunk? Because they're like dancing around the
No, that's just fruit juice.
around the
No, I'm kidding.
fire.
I'm kidding. Yeah,
and
probably
they
drunk.
have drunk faces on.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I think they are drunk.
Like I feel that's
Yes.
how I look.
want to dance like that when I'm drunk next time.
Yeah,
That's going to be my mission statement next time.
I feel that's how I look when
That's how
I'm
you
at the
look?
party
Hey.
at 1 a.m.
Hey.
That's my face.
We got a party like that.
It's like
I
they're
like
doing
it.
like a conga line.
The funny thing is, like, they become like real fast friends, like Buggy with everybody. And Buggy's like, yo, you want to join my squad? You guys are cool people. And Gaimon's like, nah, man. I already told somebody else that, I would join his crew, but he was cool, but I'm going to do my thing. But, you're pretty cool like my friend, too. I think you would get along with him, too. And not knowing that he's talking about Straw Hat, Luffy, like, who Buggy absolutely hates. Hates.
And Buggy's like, well, now that you're talking about a young person, I remember a young person who ruined my life. and he's remembering Luffy. So they're both talking about Luffy.
Oh, man.
Like, I bet he wouldn't like him.
I know, right? But I'm glad they didn't say his name because that would have just made things worse. And this part cracked me up. So, like, Buggy's about to leave. He made a raft with the help of everybody, and he's about to go. And then Gaimon and the animals are leaving. And they're saying goodbye, and they're like, oh, goodbye, Buggy. And then Gaimon says, I'm sorry. And everyone's like, at least to us, we're like, why is he saying sorry? I'm about to tell you about the sea monster. And it's like the what?
And this giant crab comes out and just breaks the raft. Poor Buggy. I mean, you could have warned him.
And all the animals are like, wow, you jerk with it. Because like they're having like this good, like tearful goodbye. It's like, you know, it's like heart-wrenching, like it's like endearing, you know? Where it's like, oh, this is nice. The friends are saying goodbye and we'll see Buggy later on. And then Gaimon is like, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you about the monster. Oh, man, I posted this in the Twitter, the One Piece Twitter. That scene absolutely floored me. I was not expecting that moment at all.
Oh, me too.
Oh,
I laughed a lot.
And then this giant crab's about to kill Buggy. But luckily, a pirate ship shoots it in the between the eyes and it dies. So, and Buggy's saved by the red-lipped woman that we saw in episode 45. And that woman says that she's looking for Luffy.
So we don't hear her reasons, but they do agree to work together, and that's where the episode ends. So we don't know who this person is.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know why she's looking for Luffy either. Like, does she want the bounty?
I know.
Or
good point.
It's not a good reason, because if not, Buggy wouldn't have paired up with her.
True.
Because he hates Luffy, clearly.
Exactly, right? Like, so it can't be good for Luffy. What we're about to see. Episode 47, the wait is over. So, the return of Captain Buggy. So yeah, Captain Buggy, like he's teamed up with this chick, and he's looking for his crew. He's like, okay, cool, let's see what they're up to, and we get to see what Buggy's crew was doing while he was gone, and they don't have a captain anymore, which a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah. So first they make a funeral for Buggy. Turns out they took the parts that were tied up. They took them with them. They just made a funeral for Buggy, or for what's left of Buggy at least. And
to be fair, I was like, that's probably the best thing to do. Yeah.
So they're trying to figure out who's gonna be the leader. So Kabaji is like, okay, I'll be the leader, and Moji's like, no, wait, like,
I'm next
in line, so we're obviously going to have to fight about it. So they make this ring, they start fighting, and they fight like for hours on end, and everybody eats.
Like, man, these guys weren't these tough back then, right?
Yeah. And they're just hitting each other.
Like bare knuckle brawling, and it's just like, you guys are tough. I didn't think you guys were this tough, actually.
So everybody goes to sleep just as they're still punching each other. And we see Richie, the Green Lion, who had destroyed Shushu's shop. And he's dreaming of being the greatest captain ever. And I'm like,
really?
Can a lion be a captain?
Well, we about to see.
We about to find out, because he sleepwalks and he knocks both of them out. So he technically wins the fight. And everybody's like, oh, Richie won. He's the new captain. And I'm like, wait, how does this make sense to everybody?
It doesn't, but they're a circus pirate group. I don't know. Circus pirate group. Okay. No logic anyways. So, yep. Anyways, he's the crew, the captain, and everyone's with it. So, but things go south immediately, because on the island that they're on, the Bear Claw clan, they said that they're cannibals and they're about to go eat everybody, and they're about to actually eat all of them, which is bad. And because their two strongest guys have been knocked out, Richie's not that tough. Weirdly enough, or I guess this clan is just really tough.
Yeah, they're really tough. Like immediately they get in and start beating up everybody.
Man.
So
cannibals versus pirates. Who will win? Cannibals. Oh god. Then again, I guess to be a cannibal, you have to be pretty tough. You know, you're gonna go against some struggling humans, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about the logistics of being a cannibal now. Anyways, luckily Buggy finds his crew, and just as they're about to be eaten, and Kabaji and Moji are about to team up with him. So they free his body parts, and Buggy gets his body back. So he's finally good old Captain Buggy, like they know. And Kabaji, Moji, and Buggy go into full action and save the rest of the crew from these cannibals. and beats them.
And we actually see Buggy using his powers to rescue his teammates, his crew members, as opposed to destroying a town.
Yeah.
So we can actually enjoy him, using his powers. And they're pretty amazing. Like, Buggy's powers are pretty cool, actually.
When he actually is using them like correctly, is like, okay, you're actually somewhat tough. Not the toughest, but somewhat tough. So yeah, it's pretty good. And so it seems like everything's back to normal. Everything's pretty good. And then now the whole crew is like, wait, why are you with this chick right here, this red-lipped woman, right? And the orders now is we're going to go find and kill Monkey D. Luffy. So,
and then we cut back to our crew, and they're just sleeping. They don't know anything that's happening. And that's where it ends.
Man,
no!
That had some good stuff. So, what do you think is going to happen in the future?
I don't know. It's very hard for me to predict because they're headed for
Logetown.
Logetown?
Yeah, Logetown.
And I know this is where the last king of the pirates died and was born. They call it, what is it? The city of the beginning and the end. So it seems that this is very important for Luffy. So I'm a little worried about Luffy running off. I think that's what he's going to do.
You should
Luffy's probably going to get himself into a mess.
You should always be worried about Luffy getting into messes.
Yeah, because of him being excited about this. I don't know what it is, obviously.
Yes.
But I'm thinking that, he's going to be in danger again.
Oh, boy.
Which I don't like.
I can't wait for you to see. And that's the end of this episode. And we hope that you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out the Funimation blog at funi.to/onepiecepodcast, which will be updated constantly with the binge routes and all the information you need to know, and hopefully the map of the world.
Yes.
I'm really hoping that we do get the map. Yep. And then also be sure to head to our shop at funimation.com/shop to add all the One Piece you can think of, all the episodes that we have so far, up to episode 575, and then also the movies and the specials that we just announced.
Yeah, the new episodes that have been dubbed recently.
Exactly. So a lot of good things.
Yep. And for all things One Piece, follow us on Facebook at One Piece Official and Twitter at One Piece Anime. We also want to thank all the people who make this podcast happen. The creator of One Piece, Oda Sensei.
Thank you.
Toei Animation.
Thank you.
Our audio engineers.
Thank you.
And of course, everyone joining us in this journey. All you Straw Hats out there listening. So please rate this podcast wherever you're listening to it and share it with other One Piece Nakamas.
Thank you. The next One Piece at a time will cover anime episodes 48 through 55, so be sure to watch it on Funimation Now, sub or dub, and be ready to join us on the journey. Thank you.
Peace.